What's up YouTube, it's TCG here and welcome back to our TCG deck profile video on my channel. We're still exploring decks that are going to be good for the Pokemon TCG World Championships with of course new cards added in here from Black Bolt and White Flare, our upcoming mini set. So today on the menu we have Joltik Box. I personally believe this is going to be one of the more straightforward decks for the World Championships, coming with an arsenal of different attacking options. And yeah, you're going to be seeing that this deck actually gets a tiny little bit of a boost with some cards added in here. So first of all, if you're enjoying content like this, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It helps out in many ways to support the channel. I'm forever grateful if you would do so. And let's just dive into it right away with talking about Iron Hands. Iron Hands is actually one of those cards that are going to be very menacing in the format, as it allows you to take an additional prize card if you knock a Pokemon out with the Ampu Very Much attack. Joltik is going to charge these up. We're going to be talking about Joltiks very soon, but Iron Hands is going to be one of your main attackers in a lot of matchups, as you're going to be taking additional prize cards against stuff like Ralts, Dreepy, Dracloak, even stuff like Hoot Hoot, for example, Charmanders, you name it, low HP Pokemon. You one-shot them, you take 2 prize cards. This deck always wants to go the 2-2-2 prize trade, meaning you can just win in 3 attacks. And yeah, the Ampu Very Much attack, very strong. You can also sometimes attack with the arm press attack, but it's not going to be too useful. Maybe you can knock out a Pidgeot EX, for example, or maybe other Pokemon that are weak to lightning. Continuing on, we will actually have Pikachu. This is going to be another attacker in this deck with the Topaz Bolt. You're slapping 300 damage output, which is going to be quite significant for sure. You knock out stuff like Goldango EX instantly, and yeah, you're going to be able to use this also against stuff like, for example, Raging Bolt. You want to knock out 2 prize Pokemon. This is going to be an attack to do so. You're having a little bit of trouble up against like maybe Evolution Stage 2 Pokemon. Think about Dragapult, but we do have answers for that. Think about Charizard, but we do have answers for that. So yeah, the Pikachu is going to be useful, slapping 300 damage in a lot of situations. Then the main mascot of this deck is going to be Joltik. Joltik is what makes this deck function because of its Jolting charge attack. You're using this, you always want to go second with this deck, by the way, and you search your deck for up to 2 grass energy and up to 2 basic lightning energy instantly from the deck and attach them to your Pokemon in any way that you like, which is totally awesome. You can charge up Iron Hands in just 1 attack. It's also a good thing to charge up different Pokemon. For example, you can actually charge up like, for example, 3 energies on Iron Hands and 1 energy on Pikachu, so you're already Crispin proof, which means if you have Crispin the following turn, you can attack with either one of the Pokemon. So yeah, double copy of Joltik. If it is prize, you're gonna be having to rely on stuff like the Crispin to get your first couple of prize cards, but statistically it doesn't happen all too much, so 2 copies of Joltik is sufficient. On top of that, we're actually having Galvantula here. This is actually a very strong 1 prize Pokemon, as not only do you remove your Joltik 30 HP liability, which makes stuff like Monkey Dory plays not lose you games, it's also gonna help out against a lot of matchups. It is a grass type Pokemon, meaning you one-shot Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX, Charizard EX instantly because of its compound eyes here ability. If the opponent has an ability, you're actually slapping 50 more damage. And if you have a lightning energy attached, you're actually slapping with a shocking web of 130. Combine that, it's 180 times 2, 360, which means Charizard goes down, Marnie's Grimmsnarl goes down, and you could even go a little bit further because we're also going to be playing the Brave Bangle introduced in Black Bolt and White Flare, pushing this to 210, enough to knock out Teal Mask Ogerpon, Fezandipiti EX, and more. So Galvantula will become a way stronger Pokemon in the upcoming Worlds format. Continuing on, we're going to be talking about Miraidon. Miraidon is in here, and that's basically here to actually use the tandem unit ability, allowing you to get yourself your lightning Pokemon, whether you're looking for Joltik and an Iron Hands or Jolting and yeah, Pikachu EX, all searchable with Miraidon, with the tandem unit every single turn. You can also use this to search a deck for specific pieces, or if very good cards are on the bottom of the deck, you can use this to reshuffle your deck. So yeah, the cards from Iono get randomized once again. Yeah, very strong. If you have a Miraidon, you instantly can get into the game because you can get a Joltik and your required attacking Pokemon. Alright, continuing on, we're also going to be talking about some of the tech cards or the alternate attackers in this deck. We're going to have Lily's Clefairy EX. With the Fairy Zone, it allows you to slap ×2 weakness against Dragon-type Pokemon, so Raging Bolts and Dragapults are shivering in fear because of the Full Moon Rondo, slapping 20 damage plus 20 more for every benched Pokemon, both yours and your opponent's. You're going to be using this, you can power it up instantly through the means of Crispin, and the good news is that it is also recoverable thanks to the means of the Night Stretcher, which means you can even use it twice if you need be, but imagine you're up against stuff like Dragapult DX. You can lead with Iron Hands, take another 2 prizes with Iron Hands because you can gust something, and then finish off with a Lily's Clefairy EX. So that's how I typically win games against the Dragapult matchup. Up against Charizard or Marnie's Grimmsnarl, Galvantula can become your main attacker, but we also compact with this guy. You might think, what kind of language is this? This is actually a German copy of Iron Leaves EX. If you slap it down on the bench, you can absorb any amount of energies you want and move to the active position. Not only is this good to make sure you are not trapped through the means of stuff like Maractus or the Wellspring Ogerpon EX that is using the sub attack, it is also useful to get instantly into the active position with something, oh, I have 1 energy on board, Crispin, slap it down, knock out Charizard EX or Marnie's Grimmsnarl. So being a grass type is very good right now, and it slaps 180 damage output. Then we have Blood Moon Ursaluna. This deck is going to be playing 4 copies of the Boss's Orders card. And yeah, Blood Moon in the late game is very dangerous. Everyone is playing bench hitters. Think about Fezandipiti EX. Think about Teal Mask Ogerpon. Think about Mew EX, Quackability. Everything is going to be eaten up by the Blood Moon Ursaluna. It can attack for almost no energies if the opponent has taken a lot of prize cards because of the Seasoned Skill ability. So also very good because yeah, you're powering up with Jolting, powering up Iron Hands. You might be able to get a second Pokemon off with Crispin, but then in the late game, you definitely need your Blood Moon to finish the game. Let's talk about some support Pokemon, shall we? The first one is going to be Latias EX, with, of course, the Skyliner ability. Providing yourself with free retreat is totally awesome. That means all of your big basics with 4 retreat costs, 3 retreat costs suddenly have no retreat. So a very important piece to get that Joltik in the active position on the very first turn of the game. As mentioned, you always want to go second with this deck. Fezandipiti, no explanation needed here. You use this to use Flip the Script to draw cards as soon as a Pokemon got knocked out during the opponent's last turn. And yeah, that's pretty much what it does. I have also seen some weird situations where you're going to be able to use the Jolting charge to actually power up a Fezandipiti. It can happen from time to time, but you know, I don't recommend it. It's pretty much when you're attacking Pokemon as prize or something. But mainly in here for draw power. Then we have Mew EX. We have the restart ability to draw yourself cards. You need this on board if you go down from 4 prize cards to 2 prize cards. Otherwise, Iono will get the better hand of you. You can also proactively slap it down if you think the opponent is playing unfair stamp. And there is a world where you can also attack with the Mew EX with genome hacking. So there is that. So these are all the Pokemon here. Kind of cool, but then I added some little bit of a twist here. We're going to be playing the Iron Bundle with the Hyper Blower ability. I love this because almost all the decks at the top tables are using some sort of Artisan engine. That means if Artisan is down, we have a little bit of a semi-gust effect through the means of Iron Bundle. You use the Hyper Blower, push the opponent's active to the bench, and then you're going to be able to take prize cards. Because imagine you're up against a Dragapult EX. Your Lily's Clefairy is unfortunately prized. And you want to actually take 2 prize cards with Iron Hands. You don't always need balls that way. Sometimes Iron Bundle can get the job done, which is totally great. Then we're going to be talking about, let's just put the Iron Bundle over here. Let's go. Okay, this is my secret tech card, so there's that. I'm giving you my direct testing options instantly. I did play this at my last tournament over at Utrecht special event. Got day 2 with a very similar list, so I can tell you Iron Bundle is pretty good. Then, talking about the supporters in the deck. First one up on the menu, Arven. Very, very easy. There's a lot of tool cards in here. We even get 2 new tool cards introduced with Black Bolt and White Flare. So, Arven, very good. And also going to be allowing you to get your setup going. Because 1 Nest Ball means you get your setup going. You can get Nest Ball, you can get Air Balloon, you can actually get Miraidon, and Miraidon can get your Joltik and your attacking Pokemon. So, 1 Arven can get the job done. That's all you need at the first turn of the game. And we're also going to have the Brave Bangle as a way out to slap more damage with Galvantula. We also come back with the Future Booster Energy Capsule, allowing us to have free retreat once we actually start with something like an Iron Hand. So Or maybe you start with Iron Leaves, that could happen as well. But yeah, very good. Then the following important supporter, Crispin. It's time to get crispy with this card. You're going to be able to get 2 energies of different types from the deck. Accelerate one to a Pokemon of choice and get the other one in hand. Very good because we're playing 4 different types of energies. That means you can get the metal energy required for Pikachu. You can also get your psychic energy required for Lily's Clefairy. So Crispin is good because you definitely need some additional energy acceleration, because one Jolting charge is not going to be cutting the job. We're going to need some Crispins to add up on top of that. Okay, continuing on. We have this, a very consistent list. Again, 4 copies of Boss's Order. So Boss's Order is very important. You want to gust up the opponent time and time again. So pretty much how this deck functions is you use Jolting Charge, you power up an Iron Hands. You take 2 prize cards, then the following turn you boss up, take another 2 prize cards. If there is a very big HP Pokemon in the way, we need to gust that off. Either you go with Boss's Orders or you go with Iron Bundle. There's even the Prime Catcher in here, so a high amount of gust. And one of the main ways I actually win games with this deck is actually utilizing the Boss's Orders effect in combination with Blood Moon. So yeah, the cat's out of the bag. Here we go. Now you have the full secrets to just play this deck. Just play a lot of gust. 3 copies of Pokegear. So Pokegear 3.0, look at the top 7 cards of the deck and then get a supporter. As you see, we're playing 12 supporters and the Pokegears will help us out. So that means in the beginning of the game we can find our Arven more easily. In the late game we can find our Boss's Orders more easily, or Crispin, depending on what you need. Okay, continuing on with the items, we're going to be having a very streamlined list, as mentioned. 4 copies of almost anything. Nazbel can get all the basic Pokemon out. 1 Miraidon means Joltik means your attacking Pokemon of choice. You use Pikachu up against Goldango, as well as stuff like the Raging Bolt, and you use Iron Hands in the early lead against stuff like, I would say, Marnie's Grimmsnarl. You can also use it against Charizard, Gardevoir mainly. So Pokemon that need some time to evolve, that mainly stage 2 decks, you can amp them until your heart's content. Continuing on, 4 copies of the Ultra Ball. Ultra Ball also very, very good because not only can you get all the Pokemon, including stuff like a Galvantula, Nazbel automatically slaps it down on the bench, which means Ultra Ball is going to be way better for stuff like Iron Leaves. It's also going to help out to find Galvantula, and it can clear out your hand if you want to be utilizing Mew EX. Then some of the last trainers in here. We have 1 copy of Night Stretcher. As mentioned, sometimes you do require a Pokemon back from the discard pile, where you want to be using 2 Iron Leaves or an additional Iron Bundle, something like Fezandipiti, which can get knocked out by the opponent. You can actually use the Night Stretcher for that. There is also the Earthen Vessel. If you're looking for energies, there's a lot of energies in here. In total there's like 14, but this 1 Earthen Vessel allows you to actually get an energy, because without an energy Joltik can actually not charge anything up, which is kind of unfortunate. And then we do have the Prime Catcher, so every Arven in the late game becomes a gusting effect as well. Let's go. Continuing on, talking about tool cards. Who's in the mood for some tools? Let's start off with the cards we already know. That's the first one up on the menu is a Future Booster Energy Capsule. As mentioned, it allows you to have free retreat with your future Pokemon. As a little side note, Iron Bundle as well as Iron Leaves EX is a future Pokemon. This means this tool card can be used to have free retreat with Iron Hands, with Iron Leaves, and Iron Bundle. Pretty much all your Iron Pokemon are going to be using the Future Booster Energy Capsule. That means you don't always need Latias to provide free retreat. So in specific scenarios, if you know, oh, this opponent loves Maractus stalling me to trap me, well then the Future Booster Energy Capsule might be a better idea as a retreat option. Searchable through means of Arven, so in the beginning it could be Arven, Nazbel, Future Booster Energy Capsule, you retreat your Iron Bundle that you started with, and off you go. Then, a new tool card, we have Air Balloon. That's right, Air Balloon, reduction of retreat cost by 2. In the past, we played this with Rescue Board, but the Air Balloon is a little bit better, as this reduces the retreat cost by 2. This does mean that you can technically retreat a Blood Moon Ursaluna in the beginning of the game. Let me enlighten you. You start with the Blood Moon Ursaluna, for example. You go for Air Balloon onto the Ursaluna, activate a Crispin, 1 energy on Ursaluna, 1 energy on Joltik, and you can actually get it off. I know it seems a little bit silly because most of the time you need to Arven for it, but if you start with Blood Moon and you do draw into Air Balloon, it can happen. So it's a little bit of a boost through something like the rescue board is a little bit less good. This is gonna be way better. And then another new tool card, Brave Bangle. At first glance you might say, oh, slapping 30 more damage to EX Pokemon is great, until you realize that it only works on Pokemon without a rule box, and that's where the Galvantula comes into play. Because all the rest of these Pokemon cannot even use it. So it's mainly here to boost Galvantula's damage output to 210 damage up against Pokemon that have abilities. And a lot of bench hitters have abilities, which means Galvantula can be utilized to a great extent. And that's why stuff like Fezandipiti can now get one-shotted by a Galvantula. Then we have 1 copy of the Bravery Charm. Additional HP is very good. If you have an Iron Hands with 280 HP, it's gonna be way too hard to deal with. That means stuff like Defiance Band does not work any longer, and that means Iron Hands is around for an additional turn. And if Iron Hands is around for an additional turn, you get additional prizes. That's how it pretty much goes. So Bravery Charm also very important in this Joltik Box deck. Alright, let's talk about the energies up next. So we're going to be starting out with 5 copies of the Lightning type energy. These are going to be energies used for most of your attacking Pokemon. Iron Hands needs them, as well as Pikachu EX, but then in rare occasions you can also power up a Miraidon EX if you want to. Against specific decks, it could actually be useful, so there's that. And then we have 5 copies of the Grass energy. This is going to be useful for Galvantula, Iron Leaves, and Pikachu. But the good news is, with these Lightning energies and Grass energies, you're going to have enough energies floating around in your deck, even if some of them are prized, to actually attack with Joltik and the Jolting charge to power up your Pokemon. Then, 2 copies of the Metal type energy. These are going to be useful for Pikachu EX, but because they are different typings, these are also going to help out with the activation of Crispin. Because as soon as like different energies are still in the deck, the Crispin can actually activate quite good. And then we have 2 copies of the Psychic type energy. These are going to be useful for Lily's Clefairy EX, but in rare occasions you can also use it to attack with Latias EX of all things, because sometimes people have the clever idea to use something like Maractus or Sub-Stalling with Wellspring Ogerpon on Latias EX, and then you can surprise them because you do play 2 Psychic type energies and you suddenly attack with Latias EX. So yeah, pretty much this deck is a little bit straightforward. This is the 60 we're currently rocking with. A card you could think about as Iron Bundle, changing that up for something like an Iono if you want to have some late game support. But in testing, I only used like Iono 1 time out of like 12, so it doesn't make too much sense, because you also, when you need it at the correct time, and it doesn't always happen. Definitely in a format where people are also playing Jellicent EX, that means that yeah, you are also item locked, which means you cannot Pokegear and try to dig for the Iono, so there's that. So I think it's a very good deck. You can try it out for yourself. It has a little bit of polarized matchup spreads, but it is one of the few decks that can stand the power of Marnie's Grimmsnarl EX. So your Gardevoir matchup is a little bit terrible. You can try to add that up with stuff like Vitality Band to make sure that Pikachu EX can slap 310 damage, which can definitely help out. But more and more of these Guardy lists are becoming a little bit less consistent because they're shoving in the Jellicent EX deck. So currently I'm not playing Vitality Band at the moment. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this in-depth review of this Joltik Box deck. If you enjoyed it, let me know by rocking the hell out of the like button. It helps out in many ways to support the channel. I'm forever grateful if you would do so. And also let me know which cards you would actually include in the Joltik Box deck yourself. It actually got top 4 at the Japan Championships 2025, so it's doing something correctly. I wonder how many people will actually pick this up, as a lot of top players mostly prefer decks like Dragapult, Gardevoir, or Marnie's Grimmsnarl. So I'm very curious to see who the people will be that's going to be picking this up. Or maybe you also can play this at the new season, as soon as the Black Bolt and White Flare cards are available for tournament play. You're going to be able to, of course, use this deck as well to start grinding for the 2026 season. Also, go check out the sponsors. They make the daily content possible. I was not able to upload like last week, the last couple of days, because I was at a bachelor party, so there was that. And yeah, right now we're back with the grind, so more uploads are coming your way. Let me know which decks you want to be seeing up next. I think the next one lined up is going to be Marnie's Grimmsnarl, And I think the upcoming set will also really help out for some gameplay footage of a lot of these decks. So yeah, check out the sponsors, they make the videos possible. Level up your game with TC Evolutions. Breathtaking damage counters, special condition tokens, and ability markers. Precision, style, power. Use coupon ZapdosTCG for 10% off only at TC Evolutions. Also go check out dragonshield.com. They are the best quality sleeves in the game and you can get them with 5% off using the coupon ZapDos5. There's also PokedownStore.com for your TCG Live code card needs. You can get them with instant email delivery. Get 5% off using the coupon ZapDosTCG. And cardmarket.com for European players, where you're able to buy as well as sell cards to people all across Europe. Use the referral name ZapDosTCG to help support the channel. Thank you all very much for watching today. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more Pokemon TCG epicness. I'm out. Peace.